All right, let's talk about debugging, but we're going to do it from a totally different angle. I want you to forget about all your fancy tools, just for a minute. We're going to focus on the one thing, the real thing, that separates a developer who crushes a bug in minutes from one who's stuck on it for days. And this quote, it really gets to the heart of it. See, the best debuggers out there, they're not just walking encyclopedias of IDE shortcuts. Nope. They're the ones who have a rock-solid way of thinking when everything inevitably falls apart. I mean, you've seen this, right? It's the classic situation. You've got two developers, they're staring at the exact same bug, same code, same setup, but one of them cracks it in like 10 minutes, while the other is still banging their head against the wall 3 days later. So what gives? What's the secret sauce? You know, it's so easy to think the difference is just raw experience, but it's really not. It's how they approach the problem. It's their mental model, their process, their mindset. And the best part? That's something you can totally learn. It all starts when you stop thinking like a coder who messed up and start thinking, well, like someone else entirely. That's right. You need to think like a detective. Seriously, this one little mental shift changes the entire game. It takes all that frustration and that feeling of, I broke it again, and transforms it into a cool, calm, structured investigation.
So let's really lean into this analogy, okay? Your code base, that's the crime scene. Every function, every class, every module, it's all part of the scene. And any one of those lines could be the clue you're looking for.
And the bug? That's the crime. It's not some personal failing on your part. Get that out of your head. It's just the event. It's the puzzle at the center of it all. It's the what happened here that you need to figure out. And that makes you the detective. This is your new job title. You're the one who shows up on the scene, calm, methodical, and totally logical. Your job isn't to freak out. It's to observe, to deduce, and ultimately, to crack the case. And this slide really highlights the two different paths you can take. You've got the panicked approach where you're just guessing, right? You're changing a line here, tweaking a variable there, basically just throwing spaghetti at the wall and praying something sticks. But the great debugger, our detective, they don't do that. They start by forming a hypothesis. They ask that critical question, what did I expect to happen and what is actually happening right now? That's where the real investigation begins. So this whole detective mindset really boils down to 3 core patterns. First, like we said, is understanding, not just random guessing. Second, you got to think in systems, not just isolated files. A bug is almost never just about one single function in a vacuum, right? It's usually a domino effect. You have to trace the flow of data through the whole shebang. And third, and this is a big one, you have to stay calm. Seriously, frustration is the absolute enemy of clear thinking. It's a conversation with your code, not a fistfight.
Okay, so we've got the mindset down. That's awesome. But how do we put it into practice? Well, let's build a practical, step-by-step method you can use every single time. Think of it like the scientific method, but for debugging your code.
Here it is, your 6-step framework. Step 1, define the problem. Super simple. What should have happened versus what actually did. Step 2, isolate the scope. You got to shrink the crime scene. Make the problem as small and reproducible as you possibly can. 3, form a hypothesis. This is your educated guess. You know what? I bet the cache isn't getting cleared. Step 4, gather evidence. Time to get your hands dirty with logs, traces, whatever you need. Let the data tell the story. 5, test that hypothesis. And this is key, change one thing at a time. And finally, we get to what is maybe the most important step of all. And that step is to reflect. As the saying goes, good debuggers fix bugs, great debuggers fix the reason the bug existed. This is it. This is what separates the pros. Once you've fixed it, you're not done. You have to ask, why did this happen in the first place? And how can we make sure this entire category of bug never happens again? Maybe you need a new unit test, or a function name that's less confusing, or a stronger API contract. You're not just plugging a leak, you're reinforcing the whole dam. All right, so we've got the mindset and the method, but now we need to talk about the things that can trip you up, the common mental traps that can derail even the sharpest detective. Just knowing these exist is half the battle. Trap number 1, confirmation bias. Oh man, this one is sneaky. It's when you're so sure you know what the problem is, it's got to be that third-party API, that you only look for clues that prove you're right. You completely ignore any evidence that points back to your own code. The fix? You have to become your own worst critic. Actively try to prove your own theory wrong. Next up, we have trap number 2, changing way too much at once. You know what I'm talking about. You go in, you tweak 5 different things, you hit refresh, and poof, the bug's gone. Success, right? No way. You didn't learn a single thing. You just got lucky. You have to be methodical. Change one thing at a time. It's the difference between science and pure chaos. Oh, trap number 3. This is a classic. We are all guilty of this one. It's assuming too much. It's that little voice in your head that says, nah, it can't be that function. I literally just wrote it an hour ago. Well, guess what? It's probably that function. Trust me. No part of the system gets a free pass. Everything is a suspect until proven innocent. And finally, trap number 4, emotional debugging. The moment you get angry or frustrated, you've lost. Your logical brain just shuts down and you start making sloppy mistakes. If you feel yourself getting heated, you have to step away. Go for a walk, grab a coffee, do whatever it takes. You need to come back to the crime scene as the calm, collected detective, not the angry victim. So how do we put all this together and actually become one of those great debuggers? Well, here's the good news. It is not some magical talent you're born with. Not at all. It's a discipline. It's a skill that you build, one bug at a time, through deliberate practice and building good habits. So let's talk about some concrete habits you can start building, like today. First, and I can't stress this enough, read the entire error message. The answer is so often right there, hiding in plain sight. Next, for every bug you fix, take 2 minutes to write down what the root cause was. You'll start to see your own blind spots over time. And always, always ask that final question. How can I prevent this whole category of bug from ever popping up again? And that really brings us full circle, back to the main idea. Your tools, your debuggers, your profilers, all that stuff, they're amazing. They're incredibly powerful allies. But they don't think. You do. Their job is to help you confirm your logic and gather evidence for your investigation. They're there to multiply your brain power, not to replace it. So let's wrap it up with this final thought. The next time you hit a bug, try not to groan. Instead, think of it as an opportunity. It's not just a problem you have to fix. It's a chance to sharpen your detective skills, to get a deeper understanding of your system, and to truly level up as a developer. So the real question isn't, how do I fix this bug? It's, what is this bug here to teach me?